Hello everyone. Welcome. Excited to be streaming on a Monday. Yep. Right as I start, my wife pops in. Are you live streaming? Nope. Just talking to myself. Hold on 1 second. All right. I'm back. Always funny. All right. That's the fun parts of working from home. So, I'm going to keep working on Comet today. And unless people have ideas on what to work on, if there's specific areas you'd like to see me working on, definitely speak up and we can poke around. But I think I want to keep working on the Skia branch. Right now, I think it was actually named Rich Text. I did a fork of Skia to Rich Text. And that's what I've been working on. I think I want to keep working there, see what kind of controls we can get working, and eventually my goal is to get that running in Blazor so we can run the Skia drawn ones on the web, which will be really exciting. So, and Blazor has some work that needs done anyway. Like Hot Reload doesn't work on Blazor, which it should. So, things to look at. All right. So, let me share my screen before I start poking around like I sometimes do and forget to share. Let's jump in. Also, that bot didn't work on Discord. I need to dig into that. I don't even know where to begin on that. All these things with live stream. My timer doesn't work. I have to manually click my timer now. So many things I gotta fix. All right. So where were we actually last time? It's been. Oh, I hate when it does that. Discard. Switching branches, and it's like everything changed, but nothing changed. Let me discard that, which is gonna freak out GitHub. Or the GitHub desktop app, and it might freak out the browser. Yep. It did it again! It's got less though. Only 110 this time instead of 130. Alright, let's go to the history. What was I doing? Merge update. Actually, let's do that again because I fixed a bug in the other stuff. So, update from dev. Don't have any local changes. What is touching all these files? I might just have to commit one with every change so it'll stop yelling at me. Restart the GitHub app. I just restarted my computer right before we started. Also, I finally got my new computer. It showed up Friday. Super excited to try it out. This is my first real day coding on the new machine. So we'll see if we can make it cry. Really? Your local changes. All right. Open in terminal. Get reset dash dash hard. Out of all this extra crap. All right. Now let's try. That's better. That's more of what I want to see. Accept both. We will allow both. Done. All right. Next one. Same thing. Accept both. I like it when it's just using statements. It's like I can fix those merge conflicts. That's. Why isn't it giving me the open in? No, I didn't. I want to open that. Why? And it crashed again. All right, well, we're going to manually go fix that one. Which one was it? It was button base inside. Yeah, just go away. All right, Skia controls button base, which is unavailable. Reload. We all fight our development environments. Skia controls button base doesn't even exist. Did I remove it? Let's go through this history really quick. Commits. I was doing all kinds of stuff with the CI. We need to fix CI. Actually, Squeaky said she was going to do that on Friday. I should message her. Pinging her now. Squeaky, where's our CI? All right. Just asked her if it's fixed. Why, hello, Daniel. Welcome, welcome. I am just trying to fix a merge conflict and seeing. I don't remember why that conflict exists as of last time I was working on it. So I think I may have deleted that file. Hello, Rogi. And let's check. I think I deleted that. Why, hello, Jacob. Everyone's hanging out in here today. This is exciting. Yeah, I think I deleted that control. I don't think it's needed anymore, so we're just going to say resolve, use the deleted file from rich text. Perfect. Now that was merged. I like it. Push all that up. That's why it wasn't giving me the diff view because I deleted it. Always happy to delete things. Oh, Skia Sharp was also updated. I forgot Matt did that. All right, so let's get that updated. Let's bring everything in. We'll update all of our Skias. And then we will... Oh, I was doing something on my Windows machine the other day when I was playing with this. I was toying with doing a new .NET Standard library where all the controls live. So we'd have comet.skia.controls. I may still go that route. I forgot I was doing that. And that's on my machine that's turned off right now. Maybe we can remote into that and check where I was at that. Finish updating all these. I'm tired. I am tired today. I went to the gym for the first time in like 6 years, something like that. Why won't you update? And I'm tired. It's funny how exhausting that can be. All right, keep updating. Those are updated. iOS is done. Did Android go? Let's update Android. Don't tell me you can't do it because I know you can. And Skia is updated the same one. We've got to go and do that on the platform side as well. Not the platform. We need to do that on the sample. Why is everything not there? Yeah, it goes. It can be a little slow. It's the differences between VS for Mac and Windows when they restore. VS for Mac does it on startup. So editing the CS progen, yes, I bet it can be. And then you don't get the do you agree nonsense. Let me finish bringing all these samples back. Oh, we could also make the Mac one work. We haven't done that yet. So the reason I want to do another shared project, or not a shared project, another .NET Standard project, I want to do the multi-targeting project. So we can have an iOS one, an Android one, and a Mac one, and all of that, right? The nice thing about that is we can now do like skia.controls.init, and when we do that, it will automatically register all of them. I'm even tempted to do that actually at this level. So we'd lose the iOS, Android, and Mac ones, and we just do a Skia one with an Android, iOS, and in whatever folders in there that are selectively added or removed. That way we can do the registration better. Because right now, the registration for the registrar, you have to do it using the Skia iOS, even though the code's going to be identical for iOS, Android, Mac. We'll probably just for now do one in each of them, which is kind of lame, like right here. We'll go through and register because we need two sets of controls, right? I want to have two ways of opting into the Skia drawn stuff. One is you're just going to say, hey, controls initialize, we're just using Skia all out. The other one is if you explicitly use like SK button, we're probably going to introduce that as well. Then if you're using that, you can just use one or two Skia controls. And those are going to be always registered. So kind of interesting things to play with. Did I get all these loaded? Now that those are loaded, let's update these packages. Which, yes, it's slow because it goes through and searches through all of the registries every single time. which can be cumbersome, especially if multiples. All right, update. And then do I have Skia referenced here too? I think I do. Accept. Hey, there's a new, oh no, there's just the new Skia. Oh, and I don't want to update the threading because I didn't update that on the other ones. All right, update. All right, let's accept all that. I think we should be in good shape once those are done. And I'm gonna just commit those separately of like, hey, we just added everything. Yep, that looks good, looks good, looks good. Updated to latest Skia. Let's hope that doesn't cause an issue with the disconnect between the Skia versions and the rich text kit. Hopefully it can use the latest, no problem. Actually, it should because he put a dependency, Matt did a pull request to do dependency on HarfBuzz instead of Skia. So hopefully it'll work. Find out. Oh, didn't accept them all. Now undo that. Another reason I like having a UI, just the undo button. I know you can do that via command line, but this is just easy for me. All right. Oh, still more to accept. Yes, it's way faster just to edit the CS proj. But I'm lazy. I like having it automatically do it so I don't put a typo in there. I am known for my typos. All right, let's try building this now. We'll try iOS and Android. Now that I have proper amounts of RAM. All right, that makes sense with the update we did. Let me get my keycaster up in the right place. So I did a pull request into master to where I replaced all the rectangle. We had our own rectangle F class inside of Comet, and I ditched it. So we're now using points, sizes, and rectangles directly from the .NET Standard libraries because there's one inside of system.drawing. And so all the Skia stuff is now complaining because that was done in a different branch. That should have been part of my merge earlier. I should have actually tested that it built, and I didn't. That's on me. Let's keep with our build. And there's more of them. So there's two hotkeys you can do to do that. The command, I think it's command enter, and then there's also control dot does it, or one of those, I don't remember. I use them both. The problem is I can't even look at my keyboard and see what I'm touching. So system.drawing.common is the rectangle, just like, so just the rectangle shapes are those with Blazor? So I might be undoing this commit if not. We can test it. Let me finish this up because I don't, as long as that's the only thing I'm using out of it is the shapes. I'm not using anything else out of that library. So let's new instance of Visual Studio and go to projects, Comet. We have Comet Blazor. So open, and I can just drag. Actually, I can just drag it. Oh, well, too late. It should. And it'll be nice once we have CI fixed. So I'm not, oh, yeah, so if they have Blaze, that's interesting. Let's hope the rectangle stuff works. They're just structs, they should. I'm not using any of the colors, which maybe at some point we should hook into the colors, but if they don't work on Blazor, that's going to cause issues. But that should be fixed. Sorry, color stuff should be able to work cross-platform. Excuse me, let me run build on that. All right, well, let's see if it'll compile because. All right, let's add our using statements. Gonna do the same thing on Blazor. Oops. That one. That was control dot. I don't remember. Add this. Oops. Come on. There we go. Right hotkeys. Huge difference. Almost there. Thought it was that. Blue hotkey work. Now neither of them are working. Oh, because I'm in the razor syntax. It doesn't know what to do there. That should be better. That's interesting. I know. Hey, Brian, welcome. Yes, I did break everything. That's right. Hopefully that fixed. So that's I think the iOS one's now working. Let's debug that one while we're fixing the build on Blazor. And then, okay, why did turn on do not disturb? Oh, is it just? So hopefully it works. We'll find out. Because I didn't get a build error. It let me add the using statements. And oh, still more of these. They're everywhere. Yes, I'll use the .NET Dev Cert. Having multiple monitors is nice just to swipe things over. All right, that's the Blazor stuff. That's working. That's building. So it built. So I should be good. No, no, I don't code. That's why I bring you guys along. You guys can help me do it right. It's exactly right. If I knew what I was doing, I wouldn't have to invite you guys. All right. Hey, that worked. So this is with the new shape stuff. Now the Blazor stuff's an interesting place, but it overall works. Now this is not using any of the Skia stuff yet. I haven't done anything to make Skia work in Blazor yet. So we'll get there. All right, but we fixed the Blazor stuff. Not yet. We're going to do Skia in Blazor maybe today. We'll see if I get to it. But I'm doing Skia on iOS and Android and all those platforms right now. All right. Where did our button go? Oh, I renamed it Button Handler. I remember doing that. Let's fix that in the app delegate. Skia is great. We've been having lots of fun with Skia. Oops, wrong one. Keep switching between Windows and Mac, and now I can't remember how to copy and paste. So yeah, right now I'm actually working on Skia handlers for Comet so we can have Skia drawn controls, which is really, really exciting. What's really fun is the stuff that John Lipsky's working on to make it even easier to draw these Skia controls. So SVGs to Skia controls, kind of our goal. So you just be like, hey, here's this SVG, add some tags to the layers, and now you have a control, which will be fun. All right, so this one should have our custom. Uh-oh. All right, so text block. I'm wondering if updating Skia. What's the error? Where's Matt? Ping Matt. Yeah, Skia is just so amazing, and it runs everywhere. All right. Pinging Matt. See if we can get him on stream. All right, just told him that error we're getting. That could be from doing that upgrade. All right, and I'm going to undo our update. We're going to go through and manually save some stuff because some things we want to keep, like all of our adding our system.drawing stuff. which is still working on Blazor, which is exciting. Don't need to do that one. Then we'll stash these changes, see if it works, and then we know it's definitely, I think it's the upgrade though. I did do some merging, and there's some code from elsewhere. All right, all these look good. All right. All right, commit that. Let's now in terminal, get stash. Perfect. Now let's try, oh, it's gonna have to reload. We'll try building it again, but I think it's just that. It might be with the new Skia version that rich text needs to update as well to the latest Harfbuzz stuff. See if Matt responds in time. That's right. If not, we'll just delay that update. Kind of wanted to upgrade to the newest just because it's always fun to be on the latest. I like it. But you know, do what you can do. And click on this, see if it works. Same error. Curious. Let me rebuild because it could still be using the old DLLs, or maybe it could be just a big mismatch. Let's see if cleaning and rebuilding that works. If it doesn't, we will try updating again and see if then we'll clean and rebuild. Write the comment. Hey, okay, that worked. So let's update. Let's pop our stash. Let's rebuild again. Sorry, my notifications are going nuts today. Just set that over there so I don't look at it. Yes, Flutter is built on Skia. So a couple things that are a little different with the approach that I'm taking with this. Flutter is pure Skia. They manage everything. This is a hybrid approach of Skia plus native, and so a lot of the downsides to Flutter go away. Like it's super easy to use any native view you want. Yes, they've done some things to do some of the mapping and make it a little bit easier, but it's still tricky. Whereas, but I can still get some of the same benefits to where if you're only using Skia, I can still flatten the tree and do it all in one draw pass, which is really cool. All right, so that went. Let me close the solution and reopen it just to make sure that it gets those updated since it does its restore on load. Restoring NuGets. We'll clean it and we'll try again. And if it's still broken, then we'll go back to downgrading. I think it still might be broken. We'll see. It could have just been a mismatch from updating the packages and then I still had some old stale data. I want to clean everything. Clean it all. Brian, I'm trying to think. The last time I think we saw each other, I don't think we've even seen each other at conferences lately. I think the last time was in the San Francisco office of Xamarin back before Microsoft. It's been a while. It's been a long while. Did we see each other at Build? Could have. Was I at this Build? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if I went to this last Build. I think I went to the one before. How did I miss one of these? Very curious. All right, so clean all. Again, just to be safe. We are definitely just going to commit that extra missing one. Why didn't that save? It could have been this year. I don't remember. Sometimes I lose track of what I've done. Too much going on. MVP Summit. Yes, I was at the MVP Summit. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, I don't think I made it to Build, but I did make it to the MVP Summit. That's right. I'm going to try and go again this year. That was fun. Hey, it updated. All right. We're good then. That's exciting. It was just stale data. All right, let's commit that. We're going to do that all in one commit again. Then we'll update Skia. You're already booked? When is it? I haven't even looked at the dates for it. Okay, I'm going to ping Matt, say crisis averted. It was stale data. That'll be fun. You guys can just talk all the MVV. Why did I just forget the name of the framework, you guys? I almost said MVVM cross, which I know is wrong. Prism. There we go. Prism. All right. So this is working. That's a Skia drawn control 100%. I like it. Okay. Now with this tech stuff, let's do label next. I think label would be a good one to do just to really test out our measuring. I want to try entry. It's a bit scary to do entry, but I think we should do it. All right. Let me jump into controls, and then we're probably Boise Code Camp in March. Something like that could be doable. I'm always down for traveling. I don't do it as much as I used to. Okay. Let me think where to put this. So right now we have our controls. We kind of need to separate this thing out. I'm going to do a little bit of refactoring really quick. We need to do two things. We need new folder. We're going to do handlers. We're going to start following that same exact pattern again because we're going to have the handlers for the button, and then we're going to do like an SK label. Like I was saying, the reason is I want people to be able to just say, hey, I'm going to specifically use an SK label. For some reason, if you only want certain controls to be that way and then other ones to be native, you can still opt in or out at the control level. And we'll just do, we might even be able to do something where you can just do dot, do an extension method to switch. I don't know, something to think about. All right, so let's here do SK. Oh, no, that's SK. That's Skia text. That's our text draw. That's our layout stuff. Never mind. Let's do SK button. SK button is going to subclass button. Oops. And I don't remember what our overloads are. I just want to do this right. So I'm just going to go to not platforms. Inside the Comet library, let's look at button and make sure we do this right. It is these two. That's all I need. And we'll rename these to SK button. So what all are you guys doing at the Boise Code Camp? Do that. All right, and then this just needs to do base text action semicolon. All right, so the material solution is something that I started playing with, and let's reload that. So right now I'm doing Skia, right? And I'm drawing it all by hand, which is going to be fun and cool. And I think I still need to do these. The thing is, though, Google ships a material library. And this material library is done by Google, and it gets all the fancy actions. And so I'll show you the difference really quick. We'll activate that, and you'll see why I have it, because it makes perfect sense. We'll just change this to base, because it doesn't matter. Done, done. That looks good. Now that we have that, let's go activate this material one. Let's run it, and you'll see with the iOS one. That's kind of fun. Is it a Microsoft-centric conference or just code in general? That's exciting. All right, so see how it just does this like light gray out effect? Now let's switch to the material. This will now, oops, go to sample, go to iOS app delegate. Now if I do, sorry, let's comment this one out and do, what is it? Comet.material. I'm trying to remember what this thing is. Do I not have that referenced? Let's reference that package. No, it is. So now inside of material, I have comment.material. That should show up. Am I missing something? Rebuild. Um, yeah, so that way it'll be, it's public. Even though this isn't static, it shouldn't matter. I'm not getting the namespace. This has a static init, so it still should show up, but why can't I see the namespace? I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. Just build and see if I get a build error. I am on an internal pre-release of Visual Studio for Mac, so we're bound to see additional things. Ah, it built anyway. Okay. I have a visitor. Hi, Layla. You can say hi. There's kids over, and when there's kids over, she can get a little crazy. So she gets locked in my office. Okay, now you'll see how it does like that ripple effect? I didn't have to do that animation. There are no proper animation frame. I haven't done a proper animation framework yet. Needs done. But now we get this fancy ripple, which is cool. And it does it based on where you click. It's just, yeah. So I will never be able to keep my Skia based renderer thing exactly up to date with material. Right now I'm using material as a guideline, but I'm not just going to, it's not necessarily going to be exactly material. I plan on doing fabric at some point too. And so maybe the fabric one will even be more filled out. And maybe once we get animations, it'll be super easy to do those effects, so it won't matter. And maybe we can get it kind of close. But if you ever want to use Google's official library, it's right there. That was the thought behind it. So maybe it should even be renamed to like Google or something. I don't know. And it's not pure Flutter like. What they've done is they've made UI based controls for iOS using the UI Toolkit to do those. So it's not even exactly like Flutter. It's done quite a bit differently. But it works. And we could port those to C#, but I'd rather just bind their library, use their library, and get it for free. That's the exact same approach that if you're using Xamarin Forms, their visual uses that. So, all right. Now inside of, let's go back to where we were. Now inside of Comet Skia, right now we have these duplicated per platform, and I want to ditch this. Registrar. Actually, let's copy and paste because I'm very lazy. And we'll do SK button, and now this will be Skia control handler, button handler. Right? Is that right? There we go. So now if we use an SK button, let's go back to ride the comet. Platform sample here. If we go to ride the comet, we're going to add a second button this time. Actually, we can run the thing. Hot reload should work. Let's hope. All right, so while this is running, bring this over. I should be able to go to ride the comet. We have this button. Let's duplicate it. And this time, add a comma. Instead of this, we're going to call it an SK button. Oh, that's in a namespace. What's the namespace? Comet.skia. So now, I don't know if you noticed, they look about the same. Why isn't that one getting the click events? I wonder if reload doesn't do those click events for some reason. It should. But let's change this one to blue. All right. So they are going to be slightly different. This one's native. This one's Skia drawn now. Actually, I could be wrong. Let's make sure we had that commented out inside of the sample because they both could be Skia buttons. If I didn't do that right, app delegate, they're both Skia buttons. I'm crazy. Let's try that again. Now the top one's going to be a UI button, and the bottom one's going to be a Skia button. All right, so try that again. All right, and yes, that looks different. The padding's different because there's forced padding, where and that one does not have a click event or click effect for some reason. But I swapped between them. Why is that? What is going on there? But I want to make sure that we add the SK version for each of those so you can opt into an SK button, a Skia, whatever. And they won't be in the normal namespace, they will be in the Skia namespace. Why is that button not clicking now? Did I somehow break regular buttons? We might be digging in and fixing buttons while we're here. All right, let's commit what we have. I want to switch to dev and see if dev is also broken. What all? Why? Why are there 100 unchanged files? Like these ones. I'm just going to commit them so it'll stop doing it. It must be line ending changes between... Oh, I think I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. So I added... Oh, no, I didn't. I was going to add a... What's it called? One of the style sheets. I have that on a branch. And I made it to where it would do Windows style line endings, because that's what Windows does by default. I don't know. Let's commit. Let's go check out. All right, I'm just gonna, oh, it's so crazy. Add that, push that up. So now that that's going up, let's switch back to dev and see if buttons work in dev. If they don't, I want to fix that. All right, and then I actually want to get writing on Skia controls. I'm getting sidetracked by finding little bugs. I don't want to be sidetracked. I want to fix these bugs. Well, I don't want to be, yes, I want to fix the bugs, but I also really, really want to just build stuff. All right, that looks like it's going. Let's clean. Any day now. I am noticing less hangs now that I've redid my computer, which is exciting. It doesn't like switching branches still. I'm okay with that. That's not something I do every day. All right, that's cleaned. Let's build. Let's run it. I like to clean while switching branches. Just I run into little issues sometimes, if not, where some things it just gets confused with dates and invalidating caches. It's hard stuff. Let's do that. Make sure our button works. Oh, that's the material button. Let's go fix that because that is samples, iOS app delegate. Material was turned on for some reason in there. Now let's run that and we should be good. And then we'll get working on our SK label. All right, button clicks don't work. What in the world? All right, let's go into Comet iOS. Let's look at the button handler. I wonder if it's a sizing issue? What could that be? Getting nothing. All right, so let's do this. Override, no, let's go into the abstract control handler. Let's go look at set frame. All right, let me remove that breakpoint because it's going to fire way too many times. Set it there. Click in. All right, that's getting us frame. That's getting a decent size. All right, it has a size, so it's not that. Let's actually do that again because I want to inspect the UI view this time. This first one is going to be the label. Yep. Next one is UI controls container view. Uh-huh. The main view is a UI button. Let's step and see if that button was then given a, it obviously was given a proper size because we can see it. All right, so let's expand this out. Button type is a rounded rectangle. Is there anything that stands out? Enabled is true. There's something with interaction. Oh, I may have fixed it to where we don't. I know what it is. Well, I think I do. No, that should be fine. We only do it on dispose. Yes, I'm on the develop branch right now, the dev branch, just to make sure. I mean, I'm not getting button clicks on dev, and I don't know when that broke because it was working. All right, so we're getting set view, comment view. This should create a view. Let's put one in here on this. We subscribe to the touch up inside, and we don't unsubscribe from it. So what is going on? All right, so let's start out by disabling some stuff. Let's go into ride the comet, sample, which is right here. Let's see if it's something we've added. So we have frame. We don't really have anything fancy on here. That shouldn't even be using the container view because there's nothing on it. Yeah, I wonder what I've got on my machine. Were you trying on iOS or Android last night? Yeah, I can click. I don't know what well, aside from every time I open it, it says that every file in history is changed. All right, what we're going to do is let's reset and go back a while. All right, so let's go to, where did I do this? Okay, this was me just playing with pipelines. That won't matter. Let's copy that. Git branch. Is it just that? I think so. No, that did not do it. What's the commit to, I can never remember this. Git checkout at commit. It should just be, oh, it's checkout. Yeah, git checkout. That's what I was looking for. Let me delete the branch that I just created because for some reason I created one instead. Branch git branch or git There we go. Git checkout that. There. Now we're where we want to be. Let's see if this one builds and if the buttons work. Because maybe I messed something up with the when I was doing the rectangle switch, but that shouldn't have broke anything. I tested it. I thought I did. We can also check my Windows machine. Maybe it's something weird on my machine. And it's working on Skia, so maybe we just ignore this for now and I fight it later because I'm confused. I don't even know what could it, like, I'm trying to just mentally think what could be intercepting that touch or preventing the button from working. It's got a size and it's enabled. It should work. All right. If this doesn't work, we're just going back to the Skia stuff, and I will fight this later because that's what I really want to do. Why, hello! How's it going, Matt? Meetings. Oh, that's the material one. The material one works. Everything works with the native iOS one. So got Skia working, Matt. It was just stale builds. Clean, rebuild. It worked. Those errors, they get you sometimes. Yeah, why does every button work but the native iOS one? Yeah, we're upgraded to the latest. I give up. I don't even know. It makes no sense. I'm gonna fight that later. Use the Skia or the material button for now, I guess. It's crazy. All right, close solution. Let's switch branches. Go back to here. And let's start building some Skia controls. Okay, I have no idea what. Why is Visual Studio for Mac is the only thing I can think of is touching every file. But it worked in Comet. That's what's confusing, is it totally worked. It could be line endings, but I thought I had all the settings so it didn't screw everything up every time I checked out. Excuse me. There it goes again. I think it's line endings. I really do. It's under. There's a setting. I thought there was. I'm gonna make sure my stuff is set right. This just started happening. It hasn't happened for anything else. Could have sworn I set this ages ago. Oops. Pass. What's the input do? All right, we're gonna run it. Let's try opening again. I don't know if I have to reclone for that. I shouldn't. But I thought my setting was already set to that. All right, so let's work on doing an SK label, and let's get Skia labels working. We can do this. We can get Skia labels. Skia buttons. And then I am kind of tempted to try doing a Skia entry. That's really scary control. It's going to be one of the hardest controls to do. I can get that working. Almost anything else is going to be easy. I think. Famous last words. All right, so For now, like I said, I don't like this architecture. Have I thought about accessibility? Yes. I thought a lot about accessibility. So one benefit to what I'm doing, right now I'm not doing any view flattening. So I have access to all of the native accessibility. And I haven't hooked that up yet, but I have access to it. So I should be able to do that just fine. Once we start dealing with view flattening, it gets a tad bit more interesting. But that's one benefit about the way this thing works is accessibility is not going to be an issue because each of these are their own UI view. And if you have a UI view or Android view on the Android side, you can surface those. So it should be fine. The moment I start heavily doing like the view flattening, that's going to get tricky. But yes. And we can try doing that. We should try some accessibility. I haven't hooked it up yet, but I should be able to do it. Should be doable. Now I want to look at accessibility. Thanks, Matt. Thanks. All right. So this is a Skia View handler. The Skia View handler gives us an iOS Skia View. Now for the iOS Skia View, we can do custom. Let's just okay. There's an API we can hook into that we can just say, hey, right here. That's not the accessibility identifier stuff I want to do. So for the language to speak, that all right. So we can do the accessibility label. We don't really have a label. Oh no, we will do the label because that's separate. But we should be able to do this. So on a label, is that the main thing I have to do is just say this is what we worry about? And what's in the traits? Because I have no idea what the traits are. And then we have the path, which is easy enough to set. So activation point. Most of that you think would get it from the frame. But either way, we can set the accessibility frame to be the frame, but I don't think we'll need to do that. Let's just try it. I'm going to do it now. I want to. So we're going to go turn on screen reader. Actually, let's do label first, because then we can test a label and a button. Let's do label. Oops. We'll do add new file, sk label, and then we'll also do label handler. All right, go faster. We'll subclass this. Actually, I'm going to need a little bit of this. We're just going to start there. Pop that in there, right there. All right, so now we have the basics for getting a font. We'll set the font size of 14, not bold. Bold was for buttons, but labels by default are not. We'll do regular, 14, might be too big, I don't know. All right, then to draw the text is just going to be super simple. Override draw, base.draw, and then let's bring in our using, where they did this virtual button. We're just going to do that as a C comment button. We'll do the same thing. And actually, I don't think I even need that because we have comment. I will be able to just do this. Actually, we'll just do it from scratch. I don't need to copy and paste that. We'll do label. Bring in, oh, it's not called label. Why did I call it label? My brain is stuck in the old world. All right, text is going to be virtual text, which equals text virtual view. Let's rename all this stuff. Rename. All right, and that file's already called static text. Let's rename this to helper. All right, perfect. Now let's go rename this. Actually, we're just going to delete it because there's nothing in it. Delete. Yeah, I think we can do accessibility. Should be fun. Very rarely have I done custom accessibility in iOS. It's been years. All right. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing to where we go over and grab it's not that. We're going to go grab, I think it only has one or two, but we're just going to grab the same thing. All right, now this will just go base value. Hey, thanks for the follow, Clayton. Perfect, that's looking good. Done. All right, so we've got that one. Now for Skia text handler, I think we're also going to need to do the measure. And for measure, I think we're just going to copy what we did here. Nope, wrong one. Do this in the handler. All right, so let's go to the label handler, and I need to rename that one still. And it's not called text on there, it's called value. We're going to do this just so I can refactor that. All right, so now what we'll do is rename to text. Done. All right. All right, delete the duplicate. That should be it. Now we probably need to have some sort of a call into these to deal with what the... Let's force us to do accessibility. So what we'll do here is we will do protected virtual, oh no, abstract string. Accessibility text, is that a good name, you guys think? I think that's good. If anyone has a better idea, now's your time to input that. So now this is going to force us on our button handlers. Override accessibility text. So what does forms call these bits? I have no idea. Does forms even expose that? I didn't think they did. Maybe they do now. It's been a long time since I've looked at what they have, as far as that goes. All right, well, let's see what they call it. Good idea. Xamarin.forms accessibility. Read the docs, read the docs. You can't have that. Automation properties. Hey, David, welcome. Automation properties, what's in that? So this is only going to be managed by, I think I'm just going to call this for right now. We're going to go with that for now, accessibility text. And then the accessibility options by now, like the frame and whatnot, we're just going to force to be where we're at. All right, let's do this. So we'll do SK, oops. And then SK text. Let's rename this before it drives me crazy. You want to close my door, Stuart? Sorry, visitors. My 3-year-old tried stealing my Mountain Dew. All right, I think I'm going to call it text. I like text more than properties, unless we make it a control. I'm making it an abstract method, so you're forced to do it. Accessibility first. Thanks for bringing it up, Matt. But now this will still give us all of the things we need to for if we're doing native and we flatten it down, we'll know what the rectangle is for that control, and we should be able to, yeah. We know what its frame is, and we know what its label should be, so hopefully that should help. Okay, so let's... How did I not fix that one yet? All right, so we're there. Let's go and swap all of our text out. Let's do it. We'll do that, and then text, uncomment that. So now we just told all of our text to now be our Skia text. So maybe we'll notice a difference. Clean all. Same crash we got earlier. Oh, this is going to kill me. So I did just, this is a new machine. And I just transferred everything. So I wonder if my Git stuff, we're going to reclone this. I'm going crazy. Let's only commit what changed. We're going to reclone. I bet it's the new machine. It has to be some setting on the machine, and then I just did a data transfer for part of my data. All right. Accessibility stuff. And then we'll hook the accessibility stuff up. All right. Added SK label and accessibility stuff. Let's commit that, push this. Yeah, it could be. I was going to add the editor config. I have that a branch that has it, but I want to get pull requests and a couple things merged, a couple of my branches merged before I do that, because that's going to be crazy when I do. So what we'll do is let's just quit this. I am going to go in, delete in projects, Comet. Goodbye, Comet. Now, clone again. Well, let's... Oh, I have the Blazor one open. When you do open new, if you click on the original icon, it opens the other one. So let's close this. Let's relaunch and hope everything works. Yes, I definitely noticed a speed difference on the new MacBook Pro. And the keys are wonderful. All right, let's just clean it all, because that's what I do. No changed files, that's what it was. The get CLR stuff didn't work. No, it's not it's the same key switches from like 5 years ago. They're identical to the old school. Like you can even see like the little bit of light under the space bar. So it's identical. And they even separated the little Touch ID button is even separated from the touch bar. But it's, yeah, I was playing around with it. I haven't really coded on it yet, but it's the old feel. So if you like the old laptop, it's identical. I looked at the actual like specs for repairing these things. My father-in-law repairs them and stuff. That's what he does. So he got the official stuff from Apple, and it is the exact same specs as the old one. Same instructions. They just sent him the old instructions basically with updated images, which is kind of funny. So yes, you can now upgrade. Now the 16-inch. Oh, it's like the button. All right, we're on scale text, right? That's actually drawing pretty good. I don't see any weird kerning issues. That's the thing on the. Okay, let's make sure we're using that Skia text. Or it put us back on the dev branch. Of course it did. It didn't know what branch we were on. Oh, come on! Curse you! I think I'm just going to have to commit those at some point, and then my computer will be happy. Oh, that's going to be, that one is the one in the recycling bin. Maybe. We'll try it. Rich text. Let's run this and see if our Skia text is rendering. I don't know if you guys noticed, there was definitely a bug in the multi-line stuff using the native render. I wonder if that's going to be fixed now that we're doing Skia. And then we'll turn on the accessibility. All right, same bug. Clean. Clean all. We're definitely using Skia now because it blew up measuring. All right, hey, the text is smaller, but that makes sense because we changed the default. Wait, why can't I click on that top row? Clicking on the text doesn't. All right, what we need to do, that's funny. We need to enable pass through on labels because it's accepting all the touch events, so it's not navigating. Oh, and now we're back to the old broken button. Let's put both of them in. All right, that's exciting. That doesn't look bad. Let's up that font back to 14. Super exciting. Now, what we can also do is allow the OS to set the defaults on this stuff. Oh, that was at 14. I wonder what the default is then. Because we're going to want to enable the font scaling stuff by default, I think. Which the styling stuff should do that as well. That looks a better size. Let's go add into our app delegate and get our Skia buttons back because I like it more. They seem to actually work. All right, so now that we have this, let's click outside until I fix that. Uh-oh. What did I break? We might not be updating text, which we should. It shouldn't matter. All right, where am I going? I want to go to ride the Comet. Let's make sure this is going. All right, that's going. Now let's go into the label. You guys get to learn all the fun stuff about how this stuff. Oh, Yeah, I didn't finish. I didn't finish it. The handler's not finished. That's on me. I know exactly what the problem is. All right, so actually, I think I made handlers hot reload. Actually, it's going to be static stuff, so that's not going to work anyway. So let's go into our Skia stuff. If we're going to build a control, we actually got to properly build it. Nice thing about this is, all I have to do, you'll notice that we had to add the map. We didn't add the mapper. Text isn't going to update on this either. So let's look at a standard handler so I can explain how this works if anyone else is trying to implement this stuff themselves. So text handler has a mapper, right? Now these actually call into the native and tell it to reset themselves. We can just say redraw. If anything changed, redraw. Remeasure, redraw, basically. I wonder if there is a, oh well, we're just going to copy this, drop this into our text handler. We'll leave it on the top. All right. How is that not visible? view handler. That is not the one we are looking for. Oh, because that lives under iOS. For now, we're not going to do a base mapper. We'll deal with that later. So now we'll just add one static lib. Just going to add one. And we're just going to do this one. All right. Now here, perfect. Now all we have to do is invalidate measure might be enough. Let's just see if that does it. So now whenever that text changes, it says it's the measurement's wrong, which may cause a redraw. We might have to do something to tell the Skia stuff to redraw as well. All right, so we've got the click there. Let's invalidate draw. Let's also do view handler dot native view as, I'm trying to remember what this thing would be. This has to go as an interface. I'm pretty sure on that. Or maybe I can just say this dot invalidate. Oh no, it's not going to be, because this is static. And so it's going to send me over the Skia control. The Skia control subclass is Skia view. No, that's not the handler. The handler for this is this Skia, it's in the iOS. This is what's tricky about them being separate. So Skia handler. Let's look at what the drawable control does over here, because I can't remember. That will tell us what to do to tell it to redraw itself. Finger paint. Canvas.draw lane. Done. Start interaction. There's an invalidate. Comet.skia. And do I have that at our text level? Because that's all I need to say is, hey, this thing's not valid anymore. Hey, tutor, thanks for the follow. Abstract control delegate. Let's just put a breakpoint here so we can see what's coming out of that native view and find it that right way. Even libraries I write, I can't remember how everything worked. It's just too much to hold in your head. Debugging and inspecting variables, it works great. I do it all the time. Why are we not getting this? I didn't actually assign the mapper. All right, so now the mapper, ski view, right? And I don't have one of these that do that, so I need to, I can just set the mapper myself, but I want to make sure I'm doing this right. So Skia control. All right. Oh. Done. All right. I actually like that when I have nothing in them. Just do that. So now we have that. We also, Skia text or subclass is that, right? No, wrong one. Text handler. All right. So now, public text handler base mapper. There we go. I need to change these types. So Skia view uses a Skia view mapper. So let's go try and remember how that works on these. These ones all have a generic one. All right, so what we'll do here and we're just going to do this ourselves. Perfect. Now, what? Are you kidding me? Mapper is Skia view. So we need to make sure they're all Skia view in the end. Is that how it happens on the... I don't know if that's right. And then this mapper is used by that. Okay. We might have to rechange that a little bit. For now, we're just going to follow it because I just want this done and working. Stupid spam calls. Let's go to here. We should have that. Now, Skia text. This is kind of lame because at this point, that text handler is not going to be typed. Which is really lame. How do we do that for buttons? I just want to look at what we're doing in the native stuff because I shouldn't have to have it typed wrong. The whole point of the mapper is it's typed. So, button handler. Is it doing, it's a new button handler. Oh, it's using the abstract control, which takes a type. For now, we're not going to do that. We will fight that in a bit. Throw a big fat to-do to fix that. To be honest, we don't really need the native, but still, it's the fact. Right, now we should be hooked into our mapper stuff, so we should get this call when something changes. There we go. We're getting our calls. Really? All right, so we're getting the call. This is an iOS Skia view. So I wonder if the iOS Skia view has... Oh, this doesn't have access to that. We might have to refactor these because I don't like the way this is working. All right. Maybe we can just do... I think that's actually all we need. We don't even need to deal with that. We might not need to call both, just the one invalidate. I don't know. We'll check. We'll test. And then this should call draw again. Let's let that draw. Put one breakpoint here. This should draw once. Click. We're redrawing now. It's working! And then it goes to dot, dot, dot. Multi-line's not working, but that's exciting. Let's figure out how to make multi-line work on this thing. And we'll set everything to multi-line by default, I guess. Default. I wonder how we set tb dot well, native lets them grow. Maybe we leave it as that, and we have to set a way to set the max lines. We haven't exposed that in native either, so maybe we add that. I just want to see if this fixes. Yeah, I mean, because we're not setting anything on a native label. We'll go look at that really quick. I just want to be safe, make sure I'm talking correctly. Default line break is no wrap. All right, so let's go. There's two places to look for this. That's pretty exciting to get that working. Let's get it working properly. Max lines. I need to do something that creates these text blocks. I need to, so I'm not doing that twice. I do it in two different places right now. One for measurement and one for drawing. And then we got to fix that clicking. All right, rich text. Let's see how to... Actually, I wonder if instead of this, we do, this is an integer, right? I wonder if that would make sense. I like -1 is what I tend to use, but you know. I didn't write this. Let's see how the measure works again. All right, eyes itching. Oh, wait, why do I set it twice? All right. Maybe it is TB dot. Where did I just see where I set the truncation? Oh, I'm doing no wrap. No wrap, that's identical. All right, let's go read his docs. This guy. Text blocks are designed to be reused. We're not reusing them. Enter the text box each time the control needs to be redrawn. We're not doing that, and we need to. Max lines. Okay, we had it. It needs set it null. I thought we'd. I don't know. Maybe it has a default. Although setting it to max you think would do it too. Let's put breakpoints in. All right. Measured height is 44. What did I set as the max height? Am I doing these out of order? Let's check this out. Maybe I'm measuring wrong, and so I'm capping the size of it, so then of course it does the ellipsis. Oh wait, I have wrong time. All right, so let's go here. Put a breakpoint here, breakpoint and draw. Let's see what fires first. Draw. Why is draw firing even though we called invalidate measurement? That's interesting. Why is needs layout null? We're handling this on the iOS side, but we're not handling it on the Skia side. Oh, I know what it is. All right, Skia stuff is tricky. Because Skia, I nested things. This is my fault. I did not properly hook things up. All right, so then we have the iOS control. This ties in to invalidated but not measure. Virtual view dot. All right, so now we'll copy and paste this down. Now, what do we do on the iOS side? That was inside a Comet view. Yeah, so the Skia stuff, this is the problem is this is even a hybrid, so it's like, yeah. And I don't know if that'll do it. This is such a big, oh, did I forget something? Oh, right. And also, there's a minus there. Wait. I didn't even do the second one. Thank you. And I didn't switch that to a plus. All right, so now we're going to remove that. Hey, that got called that time. Remove this. Remove this. Oh, all right, now let's add the measure back. Measure was called again, guys. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't the second time. Let's put this back. It's not still being called. All right, part of the problem, I think, is we're still, even with this, when this virtual view gets set, this virtual view, no, that is the text handler. All right, I think that's getting called. So let's go to here. That's happening. Now on the content view, let's go look at the label on iOS. Text handler, right? So this thing is going to call virtual view and validate measurement. Why is that not remeasuring? Needs layout. Wait, its parent is null? Parents should not be null. That's the problem. Parent should never be null. Well, this is my mistake. Parent should never be null. Inside of Skia iOS, it's control handler. Is it here? Trying to think whenever that parent changes, it needs to change it. Which parent was null? Now I'm trying to remember. I closed everything. This was called because view.measure parent all right, remove that. That's not what we need. That was inside of Why is this so difficult for me to find? That's getting bigger, but it's not calling measure. I wonder if it has to do with the constrained width we did once. All right, so let's look at Skia view. The thing is, the Skia text, let's go through the hierarchy chain one more time on this. I want to make sure I can wrap my brain around it to do it right. So inside of Skia this, we have controls. And the handler is a Skia control. The thing is with this, the Skia control, virtual view equals this view. It has to do with how I had to double up Skia view. Because Skia view is a view, and then it also has a label, which is a view. Now I override that. It has to do when this parent changes, the control parent needs to change as well. Or this parent needs to be set when the other one. That's yes, null parents, not good. All right, so the view coming in is the comment text. It has a parent. Maybe it doesn't yet. It does. Now I'm gonna get just steamrolled with too many of these things. So let's remove some of this. I think I'm not saying the Skia controls parent when that view comes in. And this is just due to me doubling this stupid thing up. That should now give us access to the parent to tell it to reload. Should I stop and start that? I'm gonna AFK for just a second while that rebuilds. I'll be right back. All right, let's see if that worked. I don't want the parent change notification. Let's the breakpoint in measure. Is that getting called? Curse this. Yeah, see you later, Jacob. Might be done soonish anyway. I don't know how much time I have. Let's look at this native view. This view has a virtual, oops, sorry. Actually, we're telling the virtual view text handler, this has a parent. Oh no, that's the text handler. The virtual view is a text handler. Right, as it should be. The text handler has an actual view. So what if we go that down to comma? Okay. Let's do this. Virtual view dot, not its parent, because that's parent chain got messed up with this. But if we do virtual view as Skia control, that won't be null, or it shouldn't be. Control dot virtual is virtual view. I should have access to that then. It's protected and I'm still inside the scope of this. Dot validate measurement. We may need to make that public. I thought that would work. All right, inside the Skia control, we have this. Let's just make that public. I'm okay with that. Let's see if I was just calling invalidate on the wrong thing. Remove this breakpoint because we're going to hit that a ton. Put it back. It called it. Yes, I was just calling on the wrong chain. See if this now gets bigger. Still doing it. You killing me. You're killing me. All right, what size are we getting? Why is the height not? So it's the library, because we are definitely... Oh, no wrap. Let's make sure that this is actually passing the right thing in. All right, alignment center, max width. Max line is set to null. Am I not setting... I'm not setting line break mode. Where does that get set? Does that get set in the attributes? All right, I'm not doing that right. That's the problem. I'm not actually using line break mode on measurement. And then we need to check if I'm actually using it. Hi, I'm doing great. How about yourself, Dominic? I am fighting font stuff, but I think we're getting somewhere. That's the wrong line break stuff. Is that right? This SK type from font family. What do you say in the docs? So I am building a brand new UI toolkit. This one is built on, it's called Comet. Throw that into chat. So it is a C# UI framework that is built around hot reload and all that fancy stuff. And it's a Fluent API, so it's really simple to use. And a sample that we're working with is in there. If we look at, where's my samples? Samples! Ride the Comet. So this is, actually, that's a little bit more complicated than I'd like, but so thanks for stopping by. I'm working on, yeah, I find it fun. But yes, new UI toolkit. So let's get going on this text shaping. See why text shaping's not working. Was it under? I know I saw that in the text or somewhere in here. Maybe we can't specify it on this. Maybe it's just off the line height. Yeah, it auto does that based off the line height. So we can't control that. That's right. I'm confused. Confusing. Let's go check the drawing code as well, because maybe I messed that up. Max lines is null. All right, so max lines is not null. That's a lot of lines regardless. Max, oh no, that's measured height. Huh. I have no idea. It's not my API. It's a nullable int. And if you set it to null, it's supposed to not care. The maximum number of lines after which the lines will be truncated. This property can be set to null, in which case the vertical height of the text box won't be capped. I know, I like -1 personally, something like that. But, oh yeah, this is the, yes, it's not comment. You don't see this. This is hidden under the hood from you. You're not going to touch this. I'm trying to find out why the text shaping is not growing the text. Measured width, measured height. We're just not getting extra lines. This is big enough. We should know. Oh, wait. It eventually did it. So I might not be giving it enough padding. Let's check this out then. Oh, I think I know what it is. I got an idea. All right, so let's look at the text. So we're just getting the size, and then we add and say, hey, this is how big we want to be. Right, and we added some vertical padding of 40 or 10. So we're adding some base padding around it. That should be fine. The question is, it's at 11, I think is when this is the one that tips it over right? So available size is 700. We're saying our height is 21. I wonder if that needs, probably should do the vertical height as well. Am I doing that now when I draw? Let's check in here. In here, I just take the size that I'm given and I align based off that. Okay, so 11, it didn't. Okay, we're not getting it. No, we are. Why? I wonder if this is somehow. What's the size coming out of this? Do I need to take into an account anything else? Let's see what's coming into here, right? What's this measured padding? I can do that. But I'm adding the measured height that comes out is 37. I'm then adding 20 extra points for additional padding. And now if we look at the draw, let's make sure we're looking at the draw really quick. So let's keep note of what these are. I just am forgetting already. So we have the text coming out is going to be 37 plus 20. So that'll give us 47, right? That's at 44. Close. And the measured height. But that's still higher than they wanted. And the measured height is 18. That's very odd. Why does that show only one comment? Is it not? Is it drawing each line individually? It is. So then it's going through and doing. Why is this doing each line individually? Yeah, I just want to see. This is really interesting. Does it automatically split it into two labels? I don't know how or why it would. What is going on? Why is it doing this as two different draw calls? Let me, inside the text, just invalidate measure and seeing if doing that will cause it to redraw. I'm wondering if we're doing something inside a comment to split that text up. I don't think we are. No, we need to actually, okay, so I do need to call that. I was correct on that. It might be something I'm doing in comment. But we're not using the iOS handler at all. Let's check what's happening inside Ride the Comet. I thought it was just one label. Let's go to the Skia text handler again. I want to see what's getting passed in here. All right, the virtual view. This is the one we're looking. That's so interesting. No, that's right. Rides taken 24 or 4. Let's get it to where it's duplicated again. That worked better. Way the heck better. How am I supposed to figure this out when it's working sometimes and not others? That looks right. Now we got an ellipsis for 19. And we get that for a while there. Just want to make sure this is sending us the right thing. I could have sworn I saw that as multi-line. No, that's right. Unless I press play a second time. Okay, it's not doing what I thought it was doing. It's like, I thought I saw it happening twice. Oh, I know why that size is off. We also have a margin on there. So let's try something. Margin dot. I'm just curious if we have a margin there, and that's why we weren't accounting for the margin. And we don't need it here. We want it on this one. Oh, no, that doesn't have margin. Did we have anything on that Ride the Comet? Frame width is set at 300. The only thing specified. Margin was on the button. I'm confused. Might have to do this in a new sample. I wonder if it's while measuring. Let's look at what comes out next time it does it. So 19 is what does it, right? All right. Let's go to the text. And let's look at the lines that come out. All right, so this should give us the lines, and the line says how it's breaking things up. Line height, 16. And it is 2 runs. Rides taken. Yeah, no problem. Good luck on trying to contribute. If you do need help or if you're running anything, let me know. I have no problem helping explain things. So I wonder if I'm missing something on how this line stuff works versus the space we actually need, so I'm not returning things right. And then the second line has 1 run. Why does this one has 2 runs and this one has... That's interesting. I have no idea what you just said. Sorry. Okay, so this gives us a text height on that row is 21 plus 16. No, but there's no spaces on the comets, but it's still... Okay. All right, well, but it does eventually where we're at, Matt. Check it out. It could just be a bug in the library. I don't know. Maybe let's do spaces. Let's see if that fixes it, because it could just be a bug in the library. Something else for us to send a pull request in. All right, so inside of Ride the Comet, all right, so Ride the Comet. That's where it does Comet train equals space first. Let's do that. Let's go here, see how that works. Still doing it. It could be the width. I'm looking at height. Why am I looking at height? It's width that's causing this. One sec, just doing a channel moderation. All right, I'll deal with that later. I wonder if that's... I wasn't paying attention though. I was looking at height for some reason. I was so caught up on height. I wonder if this is capped at 300. It could be that 300. And I'm giving something higher than 300. Let's do that. One sec. Mod. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. There you go, Matt. So, meant to do that sooner. Okay, so inside of there, let's see if this ever hits. That's it. Why, if it's set at 300, let's just remove that and see if that fixes everything. It could be a disconnect between the two layouts. And then I'm constraining the size. That's it. It's trying to use the full width. That available size should not pass in if the frame is set at 300. Let's look at the draw. But then what the draw should constrain that, right? All right, so let's go look back into that Skia control. It's the base control, which is our Skia control. It's where our draw text is. Let's see what's going into that draw text this next go round. Because we should make those two things play nicely. Gonna go simulator? You're just gonna toy with me. This should be fixable because whatever we constrain it to on the UI side should come down through here. Because I bet the frame isn't being accounted for in available sizes, so we're capping the size even though we're messing up on the measurement. And then we're trying to draw that entire width, and it's just like, nope. Okay. Do we still have that? If it's over 300, do the break. Oops, wrong button. Let's make sure we have that in our text handler. All right, so available size is still coming in nice and wide. And so we're returning this size. Now let's go see what our text size is. And then we'll put that 300 back in and see what's coming across. That's what it is. We're making it the control's too small. Max width is at 150. Is that right? Okay, this doesn't have a frame. We can go to... Try to remember what SK control is. A standard view. View should have a native. View handler, that's what I'm looking for. How is the view handler null? This, I know why. This dot virtual view dot view handler. All right, so that's where we want to investigate through. Let's see what that dot native view dot. Oh, its width is 158. How are we ever getting 400 as the width? Let's put that back on and see what comes out. I wonder if I'm just doesn't make sense to me about this in scale and how this is all working. This has a width of 300 now. How is it 158? We saw it drawing the full width. Let's go to the draw. I am thoroughly confused. How is it bigger now? Available size is a 414. Let's go to write the comment. Let's comment that out again, see what comes across. Available size is 414. Native view still 300. Let's go back to the draw. I am beyond confused. $44, $158. All right, let's actually leave that there. Let's put this back. Same 158. Is it really going to reset every time? Alright, see ya, Matt. Oh, this is crazy! What is setting this width so small? That looks about 300. I don't know. I'm going to chalk this up to a layout bug and have John Lipsky fix it because I'm beyond confused. It was doing this weird thing with native as well, though. So I'm chalking this up to a layout bug, and I don't feel like digging into the layout engine. It's however many it takes to fill up the full width. No, it's losing more now. Hmm. Baffling. Alright, well, the native one's messing up with that too. Let's go through and I'm not going to check that in. I don't want to really, oh, why not? We're not going to check in the spaces. That should happen regardless. Adding in the mappers is good. Alright. Mapper, oh, we need to do that for the button too. That's right, we'll do that for now. Added in mapper for text. Alright, so we've got that. Let's disregard this. That we don't need. Alright, so we have label now. Let's do the accessibility stuff that we talked about doing and haven't done. I think I've lost a lot of people with how boring that part got. Let's jump into accessibility though. It needs done. And then actually, let me check my calendar. I know I can't go too long today. I need to be done within the next 30-ish minutes. So let's see if we can do this. So let's turn on accessibility. Oh, I want the vision, spoken content. A speak button will appear. I thought there was a way. Isn't there a way to do it just as you navigate somewhere? Let's turn off the Skia controls first. Oops, not there. We need the sample. And actually what we'll do for now is let's clean this up really quick. Public void activate. And we're going to put this here. That way we can just undo it in one line. And it's obvious what we're doing. All right, so now that we have that, how do I do the screen reader in here? I thought I could. T. All right. So there's the accessibility inspector. That's a really, really old screenshot. This is old stuff, 2017. All right. Bring up Xcode. I gotta do it from Xcode. Can I do it? Sometimes we do tools. No. I don't know if I've even opened Xcode on this machine yet. Yeah, I guess I did. So it's under Xcode, Developer Tools, Accessibility Inspector. Simulator. All right. There's the header. So it's actually talking to me. Let's do next. Okay, it's actually reading this to me. That's perfect. Now let's see what happens when we activate our stuff. It should all break. Let me do... turn our Skiadron controls on. That should break it all. And then we'll go fix it all. Yeah, then it's like empty, empty, empty. Perfect. All right, so now that we have labels, let's go into our control stuff. So Comet, no, go back to our Skia. We have our iOS, and we have our Skia handler. Skia handler is a Skia view handler, which go to here. Dun, 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 does that. What we'll do in here just trying to think that through. So what if on set view, see, this is where that mapper stuff comes from. Oh, we have a set mapper. All right, so that's going to do the mapper stuff. So I wonder, for now, let's just do it at Skia control. we don't have a generic mapper for this text thing. So let's do okay. For now, let's just throw one of these into here. Whenever that changes, just double checking, make sure I'm doing this thing right. I need to hook into the mapper, and that will allow us to get this property thing. For now, I'm just going to do it right here. This is the wrong place to do it. All right, but let's do it on Skia control handler. Oh, there's two. Oh no, I thought there was two L's. So right now we'll do this dot trying to think the right place to do this. I just want to see order of operations here. And then we're going to have to hook this in the right way, and I'm going to have to fix the mapper stuff before we can do that. All right, so we set the control first, and then we create the view. Now, with this iOS view, let's go look at what this is. So on handle invalidated, we'll say var control equals virtual view as Skia control. If control not equal to null, this dot accessibility. We were looking and there was something I set on the accessibility. Accessibility value. Move that over. Why am I not seeing accessibility value equals control dot could have sworn I put it under Skia control. These subclass Skia. Oh, I made it protected. That's wrong. That should not be protected. Not there. I need to look at these handlers. Button is a Skia control, and we are going to make this thing public. Text handler again here, and then Skia control again here. Now, inside of our stuff, we can say when this thing is set, dot accessibility equals let's try that. And I can remove this because I don't need that anymore. Accessibility inspector looks broken. Stop and start that really quick. Bring this back over. Bring up our simulator. Oh no! That value not get set. Oh, the button. Alright, that has increment value. And that one has value 0. Maybe I need to set something else up on that. Maybe I have to set the label. What was the label before? Alright, maybe I have to set multiple things. Let's go back to the app delegate and let's look what something looks like and see if we can make it match. iOS sample, app delegate. Man, accessibility is fun. It's needed. It's very, very important. So I highly recommend all of you make sure your apps are accessible. I'm glad we're doing this, but it's a bit painful. All right, label. Oh, they're just setting the label. They're not setting the value. Wait, and that sets it as label. Okay, they all stay as label. All right, label, value. We can do this. And then there's traits if it's the header or not. All right, so now let's see what happens when we turn this back on. Let's go set the label instead. That's nice and easy fix. I know the label. No, there's an identifier and there's label. All right, we should be fine. Oh, come on. What is that view? That's really interesting. Hierarchy show. Static text. Let's tap into it. It just knows those two. I wonder if we can get the inspector to pop out what's going on here. So we can see the view hierarchy and see what property is being set on what. Because if we're just setting it on the wrong thing, run audit. Potential inaccessible text. All right, so this is, why does that have a label? That's interesting. So it knows this has a label. I need to set the identifier, or the traits, as static text, based on what it is. If it's a button, I bet it has something different. Let's just see what happens. Accessibility traits. It's going to need to know what it is based on what type it is. We're just going to set it as static text right now and see if that fixes it. And now we can close the inspector. And then we'll need to give some sort of a way to specify what these are, and I have no idea what that's going to be yet. Really? Let's go into this, the more simple sample. Click on this. It's showing the button. So what's the issue? It shows that it's there. Potential inaccessible text. The element appears to display text that should be represented by the accessibility ID. Maybe their docs will tell us. Do I have to do the activation point? All right, so let's also try that. It is accessible. Oops, that's not where I want to go. They had to open that into Safari. So we'll say, yes, it's accessible. Yeah, okay. You create a completely custom UI view. You may need to create a UI accessibility element to represent it. Okay. We might have to do that, but let's see if we can just configure what's already there. Says it's running. Oh, simulator's hidden behind there. Run audit. No warnings. Okay. Oh, perfect. Let's say I'm just curious if I needed everything I did. Oh, stop talking to me. All right, so we're going to put this under here. Right? So we'll do that, and I wonder if I even need this static text. Now that we've said our control is accessible. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. Yeah, I didn't have to specify. That's awesome. That makes me happy. All right, that's a good time to stop. We just added accessibility to that stuff. We have labels and they're accessible, and we have buttons that are accessible. We're going to need to make more things accessible, but you know, we'll get there. I like it. I like it. I'm not going to check that in. All this white space nonsense, make those public. All right. Skia run controls are accessible on iOS. That's awesome. All right, that makes me happy. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry, some of that got a little bit crazy and maybe a little boring to some, but that was fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for hanging out. And I'm going to end there. Thanks. See you later.